Last week, property tax was raised from 30 to 60% for foreigners in Singapore. This is the highest stamp duty in the world now, and many expats are concerned of being priced out of the city. I'm Flynn from Offshoring Asia. We help people move, do business and invest in Southeast Asia. It's a well-known fact that Singapore is the financial hub of Southeast Asia, if not Asia. It's the place that everyone goes to do business. It's respected. It's a great place to live. However, it is expensive. Recently, rent has increased by 30%, and some expats are even reporting their rent having doubled. This is a concern for many, as plenty of expats need to live there for work and are looking for alternatives now because they just can't afford to live. All this said, Singapore is still a great country. It's an excellent place to do business. It's a great place to live if you're a high net worth individual, and it is the financial hub of Southeast Asia. A lot of people might be wondering where to go next. The natural choice for a lot of people will be Hong Kong. It is the other financial hub and Singapore's competitor, more or less. However, Hong Kong has experienced a large amount of capital flight since the issues with China more or less taking control of the country. If cost of living is one of the main reasons that you're leaving Singapore, moving to Hong Kong might not be the best choice. It's almost as expensive, if not more. Real estate, some of the most expensive in the world, as can be said for Singapore. So you're more or less just going from one place to another, not really going to be experiencing a huge gain. That does leave the question then, where else though? Well, Malaysia is an obvious choice for us. There's so much that can be said for Malaysia. It's very well developed, especially when you consider how low the cost of living is and the value really is there. Kuala Lumpur is a great place for doing business. It's an airline hub, it's a business hub, maybe not to the extent of Singapore for either of them, but it's still interconnected in many different ways. As far as lifestyle goes, Kuala Lumpur is a great option too. It's very similar to Singapore, similar food, similar culture, similar ethnic makeup. However, it is just so much cheaper and you really are getting almost the same thing. Public transport's great, healthcare's good, you're surrounded by beaches and mountains all throughout Malaysia. It's a beautiful country with lots to explore. On top of all that, you can fly, drive or train to Singapore in no time at all. So if you do need to get back there for business, it's not a problem at all. I'd also like to mention Labuan as well. Labuan is an island and federal territory of Malaysia. It's an offshoring center and is a great place if you want to reduce taxes. The corporate rate is 3% and can even be 0% for some specific types of companies. There is also extra expenses to meet substance requirements. However, if you are a business person looking to move to Malaysia, this could be a good option for you. It's worth noting that Malaysia is a type of territorial tax system as well. So depending on your employment structure or your business structure, you could also reduce taxes by becoming a resident of the country. This will be very specific to your situation, and also bear in mind that in 2026, Malaysia is making some changes to how foreign sourced income is taxed, and that could affect this whole arrangement. So if you do want to know a bit more about it, get in touch with us and we can figure out what's going to happen for your situation. The takeaway from this is that Singapore is still a great place to invest, do business, incorporate, and many other things, but it's just the cost of living that is getting out of reach for some people. So it will be worth looking elsewhere if you're starting to feel the squeeze from the rising housing prices and just cost of living in general.